How's everybody doing tonight? No, I'm watching on the other screen here. I think it's giving an advertisement first. Still getting used to YouTube. All right, everybody can hear me now? Hey, Deb. Hey, Jacqueline. Yeah, Andrew. So I was going to try something new tonight. How we doing, Stephanie? I guess, wait for at least some people to get in here. Hope everyone's doing okay. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Trudy. LR, how you doing? Actually, my dad is home from the hospital. He's doing pretty good. I think he just got home today, so thank you for asking. Yes, just spoke to him before. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, he's 88 years old, so God bless him. I mean, he's got a lot of energy, a lot of spark in him for his age, that's for sure. He had some back issues, actually. Um, they had to make sure he didn't need surgery or anything like that, so luckily that's not the case. All right, so again, I'm still getting used to using all YouTube and its components. Um, appreciate everybody who comes in here and shares this out and likes this video when they come in. Um, it's a little tricky, I guess. Still, people don't get notifications even if they're subscribed, but you got to make sure at least you're notified when I go live. Um, share it out anywhere that you can. Appreciate that. Um, hey, Misty. Hey, Sarah. So I have my other phone here. I was just waiting for a little bit more people to come in here. And what I was going to try to do, since I know a lot of you guys missed the feature of being able to call in and share a story or things like that, then I can go live on Instagram and duel this live on YouTube, and you guys can ask questions on Instagram. Nice, Andrew. Cool. I don't even think I need this like last time. All right. So I'm gonna go live on Instagram now and play around with this experimental situation here. All right. All right, guys. So I am live right now on Instagram, and if there's somebody that wants to come in and on my Instagram, if you don't know it, it's Sean D. Austin. I'm going to see anybody who wants to come in and ask me a question, and I'll let them come in. Hello from Bali. How you doing? How's everybody doing here? I'm just experimenting with something a little here tonight. I'm live on YouTube right now, and I'm doing a Q&A regarding the paranormal. And anyone who wants to ask me a question about the paranormal, I can invite you into the chat. If you put a request in, you want to share a story about a ghost, paranormal experience, or if you want to ask me a question, anything about the paranormal, I'm kind of just playing with this thing right here. As I'm on YouTube and Instagram, see if this works out for some people, because there was a feature that a lot of people loved on Periscope that I live stream all the time on, that people could, call in. Hey, Bill, how you doing? So, and if you guys have a question for me, you want to jump in and join the chat, you're more than welcome. I sit here and wave to everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing here? I know there's some more people coming to YouTube. Hey, Jennifer. Again, I'm just trying something. Hey, Sherry. If any of you guys want to ask me a question or share a story about the paranormal, if you put a request in and jump on the chat with me. I'm just trying to, use this feature again if this works out for some of you, because again, people really liked that on Periscope. So I'm just experimenting with something here. Hey, Amber. Hey, Lisa. How you doing? Does anyone have a question about the paranormal or want to share an experience? What's up, dude? How you doing, man? Ghost guy. Hope all is well with you too, man. I'm basically allowing people, if they want to come in the chat and ask a question or share a story. I know a lot of people get a little nervous doing that, especially if, if it's video, I guess. It was such a cool feature that we had on Periscope. StreamYard? I'll have to look into it. No, there's no season of Ghost Loop. That is finito for the greater good of the universe. Anyone who doesn't know that's coming here to YouTube, on my yes, I am, Jen. Thank you. I'm on my Instagram right now, if you can see right here. If you want to ask me a question and call in and share your story, because I know how frustrating it is for some people to try to share a story in a quick sentence or something like that. Hello, Walter. Oh, damn, Mary. If you want to share that story and come on my Instagram, I'm live right now. Come on in. Nice, Phil. What's up, man? You're more than welcome to ask a question on here too, and I'll ask it. I'm just live on Instagram in case any of you guys want to share a nice story or ask me a question about the paranormal. Just put a request in and join the chat. I'd be glad to welcome you in. Is StreamYard kind of like an extra thing to put on top of YouTube? Well, Andrew, if you want to call in on Instagram, go for it. Phil's going to be with me for my birthday this weekend. We rented an Airbnb and going to get together with some friends that I've made up here being in Connecticut, and some old friends. And Cecil Hotel, yep, that's big news right now around. Hello, self-love healer. No, not the Cecil Hotel. Would love to. Mary, do you want to come on here? Do you want me to invite you on? You can tell your story. How's it going, Vicky? Okay, let me see if I can get you on here. As I'm playing around with this, I'm winging it.
You can't see me.
No, I can hear you.
I'm sitting in the dock.
Oh, okay, no worries. All we need to do is hear you.
Okay.
So you want to share your story with everybody, what you were talking about before?
Yeah, I had moved into the building where my brother lived in. He lived on the second floor with my two nieces and two nephews, and I lived on the third floor with my three kids.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one day, actually my Labrador, Jasmine, there's a hallway that I did not like going through from the kitchen to get into the back porch to go down into the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
She refused and would not go in that same area at all. Yeah. And one day there's actually a lot that happened before this situation. But my daughters couldn't take the bus because they had projects they had to bring to school, so I had to drive them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also babysitting for my two nieces. Now, when you go out the front door and to go down the steps, my daughters were at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and my older niece was coming out the door, and I'm holding my younger niece. And it's like I felt, and there's nobody behind me. I'm like leaning against the railing. And then the next thing I know, I feel a push, and her and I, thank God for guardian angels and everything above, because we went down head over heels, rolling and everything down very steep cement steps.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, thank God for the guardian angels, because that baby could have had her neck snapped.
Yeah, that's
no clue it was coming. And what happened was I tried to maintain myself because I didn't want to scare the little ones.
Right.
Unfortunately, I kind of lost it a little bit when I went to go move my legs. They were twisted like pretzels. I was paralyzed for over 4 hours. I was bruised and banged up from head to toe, literally. I still have the scars.
That's nuts. I mean, do you have any idea like who or what did that, or what was going on in that area?
I never found out what had happened there, but both myself, my kids, because there were times that they wouldn't go into their bedrooms, which was off the hallway.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I ended up with a broken tailbone, paralyzed, scratches, bruises, concussion, and that's just a minor incident from other places I've lived. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously having a child in your hand, I mean, almost, some tragedy happening like that. I mean, that's something you're not going to forget.
No, and even though we both ended up at the ER, she did not have a scratch on her. And the next day, my brother and his wife still took the baby to her own doctor to double check her. And even though my brother called and said, "Oh, the doctor says she's fine, there's no scratch, nothing," I couldn't walk, but I sat down on my steps and went down my steps and then my brother's steps because I had to see for myself that she was okay.
Yeah.
And then I crawled back upstairs.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, there's other times when she would go nuts. The dog and my kids, like I said, their bedroom was off. The kitchen was right in front of the hallway. They wouldn't. There was something extremely ominous because you could feel it, and it was very uncomfortable. The place was nice and big. I liked it, but it didn't like me. Whatever was there. And then after I left, I had moved out. It started going after my brother.
Wow, what happened to him?
He started getting hurt. And he lived there a couple years before I did and never had any problems.
Wow. And how's he doing now?
What's that?
Anything happened with him now, or?
Oh, no, he doesn't live there anymore. He's in a house with his wife. And they don't have any problems there. So I know it was that place. Either that or something's been following me my whole life. I know that part's true too.
Right. Well, glad nothing terribly bad happened,
No. I mean, the baby was okay. That was my main concern. I didn't care if I got everything that I got, just as long as she didn't get hurt or get a scratch. Because without seeing it coming, something or someone or somehow, she got secured in my arms because we didn't slide down. My daughter had nightmares and kept checking on me every single night for a month because she saw what happened, and that's how much it scared her.
Right.
She was about 7 or 8 at the time. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we know how children are most susceptible and influenced by their natural gifts at that impressionable stage in their life. So that's why spirits will gravitate towards them in a general sense as it is. So.
Oh, exactly. I know my grandchildren, my kids, they're all like that.
Yeah.
It runs down in the bloodline, you could say. Yeah.
Absolutely.
From Native American ancestors and the whole ancestral line.
100%. Yeah. I mean, even in my family tree, there's Native American stuff and, psychics too. So, lineage can be a total spiritual connector too into someone's life as well.
Exactly. Yep. There's just so much that's just so unexplainable, but when you start finding things out as you go along and putting pieces together, you start to actually realize who you are.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's an incident that actually opened my eyes a lot since I was a kid and all this stuff started happening. I was about 9 when all this started happening. You want to run, but you don't know where to run when you start hearing you kind of like you see things in the beginning as like very, very light, almost like it's not there. They're not there, I should say.
Yeah.
And everybody's wanting somebody that they have a message to get to, and it's like, come on. One night I had to say, all right, leave me alone. It's late. I've got to get up early in the morning for work. I'll talk to you out when I get home. Then they were quiet.
Right.
But yeah, it's the bad ones that I don't like, because there's a place where I lived after that I call the center of hell. That's how bad that place was. That place did have me on my deathbed.
Wow.
Yes, and there was something that jumped on my bed and growled at me, and there was nothing there. And I was wide awake. I was sitting up and just got off the telephone. Wow. But I was talking about what was at my house, and that as soon as I hung up, bam, you could feel something at the bottom of my bed, and this loud growl in front of me. I just sat there waiting to see what was going to happen next, because there was so much going on anyways.
Yeah, well, when you hear that, then you're going to be on serious guard.
Exactly, and that's when I started fighting back. So I had to do some research and talk to a lot of people and start fighting back. Yes, I'm still here today for
That's right.
reason.
That's right. 100% there.
Yeah.
Well, very cool, man. Thanks for sharing your little story here. I'm just playing around with this because I don't the feature on Periscope is great because people would call in. I mean, so I'm just.
I have Periscope. When I was on Twitter, I still have Periscope though.
Yeah, it's gonna be gone by the end of March, but. But yeah, we'll just play. I'm just playing around with YouTube, getting used to it for now.
Oh, there you go. Don't turn the light on. You're gonna find me now.
All right, Mary. Well, thanks for.
I unplugged it. Yeah.
Thanks, Mary, for sharing the story. And see if somebody else wants to call in as I'm playing with this here.
Okay, thank you for letting me share.
Of course, anytime, Mary.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
You
Especially
too.
in Connecticut with the snow.
Oh, I know. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Thank you.
All right. So, I mean, did everybody hear her story on YouTube? I just want to make sure you guys could actually hear her as I'm doing this because I'm playing with this. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Hey, Leslie. Walter again, hello. All right, so at least this is working. So at least, some of the times I do this, some of you can call in and share a story. Hey, Nina. All right, I'm going to go through here. How to know if there's a ghost in my house. Did anybody just request if you want to come into or say yes, you want to come in and share a story or ask me a question. And if you're scared of, the video, you can turn off the light. I don't know if you can turn off the video, just like Mary did. And so it's just your voice. I don't know if you can turn off the camera. I mean, I really haven't played that much with Instagram like this. So that watchtower, you should have been able to hear it because it was on Instagram. She just hung up. No problem, Mary. And appreciate everyone who's here and YouTube. Again, if you're just coming in to like this video and share it anywhere that you possibly can. Anyone that wants to come in may be interested as I do this. Just go in here. I'm waving to y'all. Okay. Does anybody have any specific questions you want to ask me? You can still ask me in chat. I'm just giving this extra feature because I know how frustrating it is when you want to tell a story and you want to try to condense it down into a little sentence. That can be frustrating. And so that's why I just wanted to be able to kind of play around with this to give another opportunity for some of you guys to share stories, and so forth. So no problem, Mary. How to find a demon in your house? Well, demonic entities have specific individual characterizations to their type of haunting. So there'd be certain experiences that you would experience with their type of manifestation that you'd look for, or that would you get closer to an assumption of dealing with something that would be genuinely diabolical or demonic. Um, but not everything's demonic. It's just dependent on a few factors. But there could be a negative human spirit and not just demonic. Self love. I would take holy water, put it in the four corners of your room, every dark corner in your closets, and I put a blessed metal in between my bed. As you're throwing the holy water around, recite the Archangel Michael prayer. That's how I do it. Well, when you're playing with apps, they're going to say stuff that might put fear into you. And if a spirit is successfully manipulating a device that you're using, it might want to put fear into you as well for certain weird reasons as it is. So you got to be careful and objective about those types of things. How do you know that your house and property is on the Indian graveyard? Well, look into the history um, of the individual property. There could be some evidence with you searching yourself on the land. Obviously, you could get references to that doing an actual paranormal investigation and seeing if there's stuff referencing it, but to actually prove it could be a little tricky. That could be hidden from records. It might be a little tough to find that out definitively. So my husband and I hear our names being yelled in our ears when we are sleeping, but no one's there. What can that be? Sorry if I missed that question before. Um, I hear voices say my name all the time in my ear. When you're sleeping, you're in a meditative state. Your rational mind's fully awake. Um, I'm sorry. Your rational mind is fully asleep, and your meditative subconscious is fully awake. So these spirits know this during this time period, so they will come to you while you're sleeping because you have a better chance to feel, hear, or see them. They can telepathically project words to you where you actually pick up these things. Because again, we all have these natural gifts, but when we're sleeping, it's a lot more apparent. And these things know that. And a lot of them are human energies and they're desperate to get their message across. And that's why you may be hearing your names being called in bed because they're trying to communicate with you and they know that they'll have a better chance to do that while you're sleeping. Yes, that's what I use, St. Benedict metals. No problem, Mike. And does anybody else want to come in here and ask me a question? You're more than welcome. I'm just playing around with this time. I'll look into the StreamYard thing too. Good evening, Owen. How are you doing? Yep, I have my Blessed St. Michael pen around my neck too. Amber. That's right. Hello, everyone just coming in. If you're just coming in, you want to ask me a question, do you want to join the chat, ask me a question about the paranormal, you want to share a story having to do with the paranormal, I'm just playing with this once to see how it goes since I'm doing my Q&As on YouTube now, and it's a feature we used to be able to have while I was using Periscope. or you can just come in here and listen, whatever you'd like. How you doing, Tammy? I'm doing good. When will the documentary be out from the Mason House? That will be out. We're aiming for April. The trailer, the 2-minute trailer to the documentary should be within the next 2 weeks. I've been, I want to go and post another investigation onto YouTube, but I've literally been swamped going through footage from the Mason House, from all the responses and looking for evidence, and I've definitely found some crazy stuff. And he's compiling it all, making a cohesive story into the documentary to make sure everything's presented that's worthy. Um, Sounds good, Misty. Have a good one. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate it. Yes, Diggy, absolutely. I think people are definitely gonna be creeped out. Yeah. Oh, your connection is not good. That sucks. Well, I can always try here. Uh, yes, Tammy. The spirits were pretty funny last night. They were waiting for me to get there and wanting to be prayed for immediately. They were just like, yeah, get on with it, get on with it. It's pretty nice, friendly stuff last night. It's nice for a change considering all the places that I've been at lately and what I had to go through. Um, I would love to do the Cecil Hotel. It'd be great. Hey Vera, how you doing? Anybody that's coming into Instagram right now, if you want to, hey Karen, if you want to ask me a question or share story about any ghostly things, um, put a request in here. How we doing? How we doing? Sorry guys, I'm juggling two chats here, making sure I'm not missing anything. Yes, it was a very nice G-rated investigation last night. I think that they felt comfortable once they heard a lot of the spirits that are there, um, rather than assuming it's something not nice. It just seems like a bunch of spirits were looking to be noticed, acknowledged, and you know, I wondered is when intelligent spirits communicate, why don't they give details of the absent? Do you think? I do think that there are rules that we're not aware of. I also think that to be able to communicate such clear paragraphs that would probably go into such details um, would probably be very tough as well. I mean, if you notice, a lot of these EVPs are very quick. You might get one, two, three words, a quick one sentence thing, and it might take a lot of energy where that same spirit might not be able to project and do the same manifestations like that. So um, that's what I would assume. Yeah, I don't think that we're supposed to know, a certain amount. Nice, Karen. How's it going, Andrew? What is up, Eric, Mr. Epic himself? What is going on? Yes, Jen, absolutely. All right, making sure I don't miss any of this. Very cool, Sean. Nice. Yeah, we got a lot of snow here too. Yep, Andrew. Um, somebody forwarded the couple to me. Another person. So went out there, and it was a nice, light-hearted investigation. Hello, Jacqueline. Again, anyone that's coming into Instagram, hey, Laurel. If you want to ask me a question, join the chat here on Instagram. If you want to tell a story, if you're afraid to be on camera, turn off the lights, I guess. I don't know. I know a lot of people feel weird. They feel like they're going up on stage. I mean, for me, I've been doing that for years. I mean, I'm a musician, get on stage and playing and things like that. Um, but I know that it's frustrating to not be able to like tell a whole story. I mean, um, if you can land the name of a demonic entity, yes. I wouldn't say it's the most important thing if you can't. No, I don't sell blessed um, pendants, but I will be selling some other stuff on my website. The DVD is going to be sold from my website. You'll be able to also stream it, and actually, I'm going to work on the shirt thing and some of these picture things in the next day or two. So hopefully, in the next week or two, have that up on the website as well. Nice to have no drama for a change. Yeah, nobody wants drama, Karen. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, I've gotten used to it, Trudy. Anyone? Ferris, Bueller, any question at all? You think you had a near-death experience when I was little? I had meningitis. The only thing I remember is seeing a dark, deep blue sky in front of me with a few stars. Then I was back in my body. Interesting, LR. I was just watching a really cool show. I put on my story the other night. A friend of mine, Amy, told me about it. It's called Surviving Death on Netflix, and the first episode's all about near-death experience. Phenomenal stuff. Yes, Jacqueline, definitely. I usually don't come live on Instagram, but I was just giving an opportunity for some people to, voice a question or tell a story as I was just playing this for tonight. How you doing, Jason? The only thing is a little confusing is playing with two chats here. Endlessly fascinating, LR, that's for sure. I've seen a 7 to 10 foot shadow figure in 1986. It was in the daytime. It was at a campground in Plymouth, Massachusetts. It had red eyes that turned yellow. It was mimicking the same um, place I was walking. Interesting, Sean. Creepy. And I've experienced very similar things. I'm shopping in a local boutique, and my full maiden name was said on in an awe-like voice. Only assistant friend, and in the shop, I was fascinated instantly. The owner's name was Owen. Gotta love those synchronicities, Owen. I'm definitely multitasking, Jen. Are shadow figures all evil? It's a good question. In my experience with shadows, that usually there might be a lower vibrational entity. I don't know if they're just all evil, but they're definitely a lower vibrational entity that it's not a positive spirit. But I don't know if they would be all evil. But there's something about the colors of spirits and their spirit energy, their balls of light, the color that they emit and they project out. There's a representation of what that means, I believe, of their consciousness, their representation of their energy and their emotions, of what that spirit stands for. That's called sleep paralysis, Anthony. Anybody coming in here to Instagram, if you want to join the chat on video, ask me a question or share a story about the paranormal, more than more than happy to add you on. I was traveling to Mexico, and while watching TV, I couldn't hear the TV. I could hear people talking, and if I was standing in the middle of a market. And a minute later, I stopped hearing. Uh, Adriana, were you sleeping at this time? Were you in bed? Does it look hopeful about events? I got nothing right now, Karen, but I would definitely love to start looking into that, with all this ridiculous stuff that's going on. Uh, in my opinion, Ouija boards are probably the most dangerous method, um, one of the most dangerous methods to do. I mean, 95% of demonic hauntings start with a Ouija board. Um, there's people out there that use it. I don't judge. That's my opinion. That's how I roll. So I played with a Ouija board years ago, and I paid for it with a lovely oppression. So I'll never do that again. All right, make sure I'm not missing anything here. I've entered houses years ago that repelled me. I felt the presence of evil. Crazy, Owen. Is sleep paralysis demonic, or is it just unexplained phenomena? Well, I think that sometimes it could be a demonic entity. It could just be a regular human spirit. Um, your 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 soul's attached to your physical body with something called a silver cord, and when your body goes into sleep paralysis, one of your chakra points might be buzzing. You might actually feel a buzzing noise or something. So that's why I always tell people to associate or recognize, what are you experiencing? What are you seeing during this time where you can't move? Do you see a shadow standing in your bed? Do you see something over you? Because if you don't have any of these elements to that experience, then I would say that it might be a natural occurrence of your soul coming out of your body temporarily, and sleep paralysis is being triggered, because that's what happens when you leave your body. It's called astral projection. So when you leave your body, it'll occur. It's very easy to assume that a negative entity is actually doing this to you because you feel like something is on top of you. But mind you, it actually can happen. A spirit or an evil spirit can actually induce and influence this situation to occur. So, both questions are yes to them. Jason, Periscope's ending in the March, so I've been going on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, definitely subscribe. Um, there's a link in my bio. Right now, I'm live on YouTube right now, as you can see. I was using Periscope for quite a few years. Daniela, oh, you're out of the country, right? Anyone who wants a copy of one of my books, I got a bunch right here. Shadow Chaser, my first book here. Um, if you live in the US, I sell them off on my website and I sign them and mail them out. It's SeanDaustin.com, SEAN, D as in David, AUSTIN.com. If you want to get it off Amazon, the link to Amazon, Daniela, if you were out of the country, is in this description of this video right here. So if you leave the chat and go down, the link's there. Well, you raise your vibration when you're not indulging and stuff like that. So, can sleep paralysis be dangerous at times? Well, some believe it can be dangerous. Well, sleep paralysis is like something's just on you. I've never heard of someone dying specifically from sleep paralysis. I think it's just more of just of a terrifying experience that people would assume and feel as if they are dying, almost like a panic attack. It is a very terrifying feeling. I've had it happen to me many, many times. Um, and it's not fun. But it's not something that, you know, where I sat there like this is a dangerous thing. I don't want it to happen. It's just, the way it is for me, if it happens to me, it's God's letting it happen for a reason. So I'm just appreciative of the experience, and maybe I can learn something and use that to help others with it, which I portray that opinion about all experiences in the paranormal, what I've had happen to me up until this point. Hey, Mary, which ghost box are you referring to? I used to have nightmares flying around a room, picking up speed as the nightmare went on, and I even hurt my hand in the nightmare. I could feel it when I woke up. I've had things like that happen to me before. The mind's a very powerful thing. I remember reading some book about psychics and metaphysics and stuff, where a gentleman was actually hypnotized, and they told them that told this gentleman that there was a hot burning pin touching his thumb, and he was completely in a trance, and his thumb actually started to blister without anything touching his thumb. So that just gives you an example of how powerful the mind is. That's probably where they come up. You could probably talk yourself out of getting sick in some cases. So that could be some sort of factor at play too. Um, okay. Someone wants to come on, ask a question, share something. Ray of Sun. Hello there.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm good. Oh, sorry, my husband just came through the door.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, wow, wow, I can't believe I'm talking to you.
Technology is a fun thing. So, did you want to share something, an experience, or ask me a question?
Yes, I do. A few nights ago, I was asleep and I had a voice come to me. It actually woke me up and it scared me. And the voice said, "Hi, hon," but it was loud. I know I wasn't dreaming. And when I woke up, I sat up and gasped because it scared me so much.
Hmm.
And I don't know what it was. I can't explain it.
Now, this is in your home, you're saying?
Yes.
And now, have you had any other experiences besides that since living there, or is this kind of sporadic?
Yes, I have off and on. My husband hasn't, but I'm the only one that has had some type of experiences.
Mm-hmm.
This one wasn't. It scared me, but it was kind of. I don't know. It was different.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the history behind your house or anything that would kind of entail why there would be something there? Or?
No, we rent. No, I don't really know anything about the history of the house. I mean, I don't feel like
anything's watching me or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had very bad nightmares or night terrors. But the thing that just happened, my mom passed away in October, so I'm just wondering if it could have been her, and not knowing that she could maybe connect with me. I mean, this voice was very, very loud.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that something that your mom would say, like "Hi, hun," or?
Yes, she used to say that, like, or bye on when we talk on the phone.
Hmm. Well, that definitely could be a possibility. Like I said before, I mean, when we're sleeping, your subconscious mind's fully awake, your rational mind's fully asleep, and this is a time period when spirits know, and even your loved ones. That's why I tell people when they have dreams about their loved ones and things like that, that most likely they are trying to get a message across to them. It might be in a form of a dream. It might just be something that's symbolic that means something or will mean something. And
Okay.
by the way, sorry to hear about your mother.
Thank you.
But
Appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely. But you know, did now how long ago did that happen?
Um, it happened Saturday morning, like about 5:30, quarter to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because it woke me up out of my sleep, and I sat up and gasped, and I know I wasn't dreaming because when I woke up, and I don't remember having a dream prior to this.
Yeah. Well, we know that like dreams, it's kind of like drinking too much alcohol. You remember it while it's happening, but after the fact, you're like,
Yeah.
really just don't know exactly what went on. Um,
Yeah. It was just kind of different. It was weird.
well, I would say like, before going to sleep and say like, hey, mom, if you're around, try to give me another message, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um,
So try to encourage it.
yeah, I mean, I think that you would get some sort of feeling um, if you felt like uncomfortable. I mean, always pay attention to your natural intuitive abilities. So if you
Right.
feel something is
Okay.
off, or it's, and again, I think if something negative was in your house, and if you've been living there for a certain amount of time, I believe that it would be already trying to, you know, manifest in a way where you guys would be able to pick up little hints of what it's trying to do, the
Right.
negativity, the oppressive feeling in the house, or pressure on your chest, and but what are the nightmares that you're having?
I've had night terrors or dreams that in my hallway there is up above is like an opening of fire, and
Mm-hmm.
down below on the floor is like this black mass swirling down.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's gonna be a night terror if my dream starts with rain and raindrops inside my house.
Hmm.
I've had many dreams like that. Not recently, and I've had feelings of if I had gone and slept in one of our other bedrooms,
Mm-hmm.
of my like ankles being pulled,
Mm-hmm. Right.
stuff like that, or not being able to get up, like I'm being held down. But that hasn't happened in a long time.
Right. Well, that's good, but I guess that's interesting that it's almost like you're dreaming about some sort of vortex or portal, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but you've never felt uncomfortable, like in your house, like walking around.
No, not really. No.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, like I said, if something comes at me in my bed, I and I've had I've had the worst of the worst that you could imagine come to me while I'm trying to
Yeah.
sleep. Trust me on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get up and I'm in the name of Jesus Christ, and I'm throwing holy water around like it's, you know, no one's business. But I mean, if you feel uncomfortable or if you're a little frightened, that's why I just say, in the name of Jesus Christ, back away. I revoke your permission to
I
be
did.
here.
Well, it's really weird because I've had dreams where I felt like I've been lifted up out of bed.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm dreaming or if it's real. or if it's like subconsciously, I don't know, but I have said, you don't have the right to do this to me, and I was like put back down on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched many paranormal shows, so that's what I did, and I was put back down onto my bed.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is my husband has not had not one experience.
Well, just like some of the people are saying in the chat right now, I actually agree with them. I mean, it sounds like that you do have abilities that are a little bit natural for you. Have you had some of these experiences since you were a child at all? Like any strange things?
No, but I do know my older sister used to have a Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
And she's had stuff happen in different places of where she's lived. A lot, most negative. But so I don't know if that would affect me or not. But yeah, no, I didn't have anything when I was a child.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, no. I mean, you weren't the one that played with the Ouija board, but I mean, look at me. I had a spiritual awakening in the middle of my life. Looking back, there were little omens of things that I didn't pay attention to. That there's some of that natural gift was there. So even though it's happening in the middle of your life, you know, there might be something that's happening within you where you're actually being a little bit more sensitive. So that's not out of the question because I wasn't expecting that either. And that's why I was a little bit more nervous when I was having a spiritual awakening, thinking something evil might be making me think that I'm, you know, being sensitive to things. And but now I know, I mean, like we all have these gifts. It's there, and you know, there's things that can trigger it and bring it about more. And obviously, me engaging the spirit realm and investigating and going to all these, you know, really haunted, energetic places, just trying to communicate, it just opened me up fully, and now there's no turning back.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've always been open to it. I've always been interested in it, in the paranormal. So maybe it's just my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, just be wary of, you know, pay attention to your like I said, your natural intuitive ability. I mean, you know, if you feel uncomfortable and things kind of take a dark connotation with your experiences, then, you know, take it according to with that.
Okay. And where do I seek like help with that? I mean, if that happens, do I just look in my area, or I mean, that's my biggest fear is an attachment.
Well, it depends where you are, like what state you are. I mean, you know, there's legitimate people around and teams. You just, you know, you can always contact me, and I can see who I know in the area. I don't even, what state are you from?
In California.
Okay. Obviously, you know, most importantly with fear, I think that, you know, we all fear the unknown, but when it comes to these things, it's important to have a strong faith foundation, because you can't fight these things with guns or your fists.
Right.
Fear undermines your faith because if you truly believed in the fact that God's more powerful than any evil spirit that could ever try to come at you in any way, then you wouldn't be as afraid of it. So I think putting fear into any part of life in general, spiritual or physical, is just not something that can help you. It's training yourself to learning from it. And most of these spirits are human spirits, and um, you get used to a lot. And obviously, I'm giving you that example because I've experienced this firsthand. Because you know, I was overwhelmed too at the novice stage of being involved with this stuff too.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it because I've been looking for answers. I'm kind of hoping it was my mom, and hopefully, if it was, she'll be in contact with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me know if anything happens.
I do have her ashes, part of her ashes in my house also as well.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Never know. It could be a factor.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
No problem. Anytime.
Yeah. You have a good evening. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. How's everybody doing? I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody that wanted to ask me a question and jump on just like she just did. I'm juggling here, juggling chats. Let's see here. Talking about bad juju. Hello, Andy. Everybody on YouTube, were you able to hear her story as well? Everything's clear. I just want to make sure you're able to hear what's going on, Andy. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. All right, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything here. Good evening, Claudia. How we doing? Anyone here on Instagram wants to come on and join, make a request, and you can do the same thing that she just did. Share a story, ask me a question about this lovely subject. What is up, Hecbus? What's going on? Hey, Gris, how we doing? Dewana, how you doing? Nice, Andrew. Thank you. Very cool. Thank you, Sean. Letchworth is no joke. It's definitely a crazy place. Nice, nice. And appreciate everyone who's come into the YouTube. If you haven't, to like this video, share it out. Just got to keep doing the YouTube thing. It's the new thing for me. Any questions you want to ask, if you want to do it in chat, I'll try not to miss it. And if you want to actually tell a full story and have your voice be heard on the stream, then come on to my Instagram. It's Sean D. Austin at Instagram. It's actually the link is in this profile, the YouTube video. Yeah, retrograde sucks. And yes, thank you, Jen. Yes, if you subscribe, definitely hit that bell icon like you hear from all the other YouTube lovely people. That's just how it goes. Hey, what's going on? How are you? Happy belated birthday. My birthday is this weekend too. Again, anyone coming in here to Instagram, if you want to join and jump on the chat with me and video, ask me a question, share a story regarding anything ghostly or haunted, you're more than welcome. What's the scariest place I've ever been? I always bring up Revenant Acres because we had such a crazy thing happen there. I wrote about it in my first book, place they knocked down in Indiana. Really messed up place, really bad. I'm thinking about like what else, where else. Hmm. Have I been back to the land, Sean? What's the land? Alfred, what is up? Cool, Mary. I have been to Penhurst. Yes, absolutely haunted. Any of those insane asylums or mental hospitals are definitely going to be haunted. Regular hospitals will be haunted. There's all this energy associated with emotions of people suffering and tragedy and sadness and just pain. Any of those types of places are going to. Am I a Valentine baby? My due date was Valentine's Day, but instead I got Friday the 13th. Go figure. The irony to where I stand today. Have you seen those PMB boxes? No. What'd you say? Yeah, Saddensville Rectory, the grounds of Reverend Acres. No, I've not been back to the land. Saddensville Rectory, I've been to twice. No, once. I wrote about it in my first book. It's where Phil, if you know Phil, he got an upside down cross scratch on his back. Maybe that'll be my throwback Thursday this week, and I'll put it back on my Instagram from years ago. Happy. Oh, nice, Adriana. You're just right next to me. Oh, nice, Daniela. Yeah. Sadinsville Rector's really messed up place, too. Hello, anyone who's just coming in. People are spraggly coming in Instagram. If you guys want to jump on the chat and video with me and ask me a question about the paranormal or um, share a story regarding that same subject, you are more than welcome. And that goes for anyone on YouTube. I'm kind of doing a thing here. If you wanted to come on and actually tell your story or talk with me here about anything paranormal. Nice, Andrew. Or if you just want to ask a question in the chat, guys, anything paranormal related, shoot it away. On the 21st, nice. I know it's depressing, Chris. It is. It really is. Mary, you're more than welcome to share one of your many ghostly stories. Hello, Anne. Do I have any plans for my birthday? Yes, I rented out an Airbnb nearby with some friends. Get into a little fun trouble. I may even live stream from YouTube and just say hello at some point during that night. Question: where can we learn about demonology? I saw Ralph had Twitter posts of classes he taught a while ago, but haven't seen anything recent. Um, I think he might have just been taking a break. Um, yeah, I'd be glad to answer any questions like regarding demonology. I mean, obviously, you know, what I did was I read a bunch of books that helped me mold myself and with my personal experiences and the things that I could read about with other people's experiences, other cases that pioneers during the the paranormal back in the day when the Warrens were around and Ralph's book and stuff like that, and um, it helped me learn. So by the time that Ralph actually showed me how he approaches cases and stuff like that, and it all just came to fruition from there. It's learning how the characterization of the demonic when it comes to the type of activity that they display, what they'll try to do um, to individuals psychologically, emotionally, physically. I mean, Ralph's really knowledgeable in the biblical sense of things, a lot more so than I am. But yeah, I mean, learning about this stuff is it's a lot and it's fascinating. But it's a crazy lifestyle. You're really sensitive to people's energy and the paranormal. My toddler's starting to say he's scared. Absolutely, children are all sensitive, and they have not been able to be told that ghosts are not real yet when they're trying to just soak up the natural environment and understand, the average words we say. So, you know, that's understandable. But, I'll even quote something that Ed Warren would always tell kids: if you see a ghost, say in the name of God, how I can help. How can I help you? And if they have any ill intent, they should scurry away. All right, make sure I'm not missing anything. Anyone have any stories you want to share? Jump on this video chat with me. I think this phone. Hello, Erica. I've been seeing orbs, dark, and light figures all my life. I don't know why, but I'm not even scared anymore. What do you think the orbs are? So, when your physical body is done, you're a ball of consciousness and energy. So, that's what those balls of light and spirit energy are. Um, I do have another case that's up near Vermont area, but I don't know when I'll be going, whether it's the end of this month or when it gets a little warmer. There's a couple of potential cases floating around. What you going to be about 28? Yeah, 28. And he was around, but he was very skeptical about it. She's very isolated with her experience and was afraid to be considered crazy. Um, so there was a couple of things that he did experience, but still very skeptical about it at the time. A lot of these things would happen to her when she was alone. Yes, it's good to encourage, if your children have abilities. Yeah, no problem. Shells. Yeah, when you have personal experience with it, it draws you in. That's what happened to me, and that's why I started reading books. I read the Warren's book, The Demonologist, and then I read Shadows of the Dark by John Zaffis, and then I read Ralph's book, which was Beware the Night, that became Deliverance from Evil, the movie. These are all books of people that were pioneers during a time when the paranormal was not popular, and there were TV shows, and people were doing it specifically for the research and to, understand it, experience it, and use it all to help others. So um, hearing about these cases that these people are going on is very fascinating, and you can learn a lot. Alfred, I always tell people, any case that I go on, if something happens that's bad or if it activates again, to reach out to me. I've used motion sensors before. Hack this on investigations. It's definitely cool little tool to use. Yeah, seances can be dangerous too. If you know, actually, the story with the Conjuring, with the bewitched farmhouse in Rhode Island, the Warrens, during those times, they didn't have things like spirit boxes and devices that we could just turn on and immediately communicate with spirits. So they would resort to things that were a little bit more risky, like seances, and they did it at the farmhouse. And actually, the Miss Perrin was picked up and thrown across the room, and the husband punched Ed in the face. If you don't know about that, um, but that's what they were doing during those times because they were trying to push the envelope to get answers. Appreciate everyone just coming into the YouTube. If you like this video, if you've not, Anthony, if you want to come on Instagram and share a story, you're more than welcome. Sounds good, Andy. Shit about my car. Yeah, I mean, people know, Alfred, about my car radio, that it's like a makeshift spirit box. Especially what happened when I was going to Hillview Manor with the spirit that was in the car with me and waiting for me to cross him over and them over. I agree, Sarah. Nice, Sean. Using any sort of device to communicate with spirits, um, we take risks as investigators doing these sorts of things. I mean, there's no guarantee things can happen as we delve into the whole field and dealing with this stuff. So you just have to be careful. I can take every precaution necessary, and things still happen to me. That's why I'm always constantly, you know, blessing my place, praying all the time. I don't mind the friendly spirits, but the ones that like obviously want to tear you apart limb by limb. It's not something when you're trying to have your beauty sleep to want to experience, to say the least. Yeah, Trudy. Gotcha. Thank you, Trinity. Thank you. Have you ever met a person that can see spirits? Yes, I'm one of them. Yes, many people that are there's gifted people that I've met being in the paranormal community. Everyone's gift is a little bit different in their own way too. It's fascinating. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Vicky. Interesting, Anne. Danielle asked about experiences in war places. What are your reactions or feelings? Well, like one of my favorite places to go is Gettysburg. Um, the whole place is haunted. Um, there's literally ghosts everywhere. I mean, the amount of people that died and the battles that went on. It's a diversified amount of emotions that'll come over you, and what you could potentially experience down there. I love Gettysburg, but any places of war, things like that. I slept well last night, though I did have a weird dream with Fotis in it last night. Oh, I didn't tell you guys about that. I did have something creepy happen to me a couple nights ago. Um, so I had a dream that like Fotis was standing on some grass and some sort of hill, and he's telling me, yeah, you should come over for a barbecue. And then he's like, yeah, I took Jen into the water, and then she disappeared, and I saw him like in the water, and then like I saw him walking with her. It was really, and then I saw this really eerie looking back eye from him. It was really chilling in a weird way. Um, about a couple of nights ago, I believe I actually came out of my body again. I haven't astral projected in a while. And I was in my old bedroom of my old house that I grew up in. There's actually a white chimney that went into the middle of the room. And I was staring at the white chimney. And I saw this huge shadow just dart left to right. And then, like, I woke up. I felt pins and needles across my entire body. And I woke up. Um, weird. Weird. I don't know what the hell that was all about. Can cemeteries be haunted? Of course. Wherever there's death, I mean, funeral homes, I mean, emotions, people being buried, people losing their loved one, and then the actual soul of the people that died and how they died. All these potential factors at play can create all sorts of scenarios, paranormal wise. Alfred, you can, I'm sure, sometimes. I hear you, Daniela. It can be overwhelming when you have abilities. I totally understand that. And you have your grandparents own a funeral home, and you swore it was haunted. I believe it. Yeah, it was definitely trying to taunt me. Does everybody in these chats have a copy of any of my books? Have you read any of my stories? Because um, this documentary that's coming out, which is actually personal to me, why really I had to go back in the first place. But you know, I didn't even expect this documentary to happen. I was just basically going to go back there and light off a bomb of the light of God and deal with it accordingly and live stream whatever. And then, you know, um, Dave told the filmmaker Billy about it, and he really thought the story was interesting, and it happened so fast. Um, I didn't expect anything like that to happen. But everything happens for a reason. Um, but if you want to read about the Mason and the documentary, it'd be a prequel to learning about you know my book. It's in my first book, Shadow Chaser. Um, if you want to read about it before the documentary comes out in a couple months. Yeah, Daniela, definitely. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, and I appreciate everyone who shares my YouTube out to people that might be interested in asking questions, hearing about stuff about the paranormal. I've been hit. I've been scratched. Yep. Yep. It's crazy stuff. Hey, Kriya. What is up? You talking about the video, Mary, on my YouTube about the girl possessed? There you go, Mary. Anything you want to share that I haven't? Gosh, I don't know. By the way, Alfred, what are you doing Saturday? You can always text me afterwards. My first ghost story involves the Tina Brandon story from Humboldt. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Nice. Well, if you're back in time and want to join us, um, we're gonna have some fun for my birthday. I had a dream last night. Evil on destroyed St. Michael said he was told he could win America. He was shocked. Had stripped out. I've never been to Myrtle's plantation. It's definitely on my list. Nice, Mary. I've heard Chelsea. I definitely gotta check it out. Stephanie, I'm on YouTube right now, and I was having people call in and ask questions if they wanted while I'm streaming, because it was a feature that we had on Periscope that I thought people really enjoyed. So I was just winging it, experimenting with this today. Nice, Kriya. I know, Kriya, seriously. Upside down world we live in. Yeah. What's simple gadget you got left to add to your arsenal? I'd like to get a thermal camera would be great. I think we were talking about the other day. Good night, Walter. Do you have any certain dark entities who follow you? Well, hopefully the Mason's gone. I think he'll come up in investigations. Thank you, Erica, for the super chat. I think there's things that come in and out that'll linger after going to certain places. I have that, Mary, the SLS. It's a great piece of equipment too. Agreed, Korea. Yeah, what time is it anyway? Anyone on Instagram want to ask me another question? Jump on here before my battery fully dies on this second phone. What did I think when I saw an object move on its own for the first time? I was like, holy shit, that just made my day. Have a good one, Andy. Sounds good. Thank you, Jen. Cool, man. Cool, Stephanie, yeah. Well, there he comes. Thank you, Amber. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh man, my hair is a mess right now.
Yeah, it's a good thing we can't see it, man.
What's going on?
What's going on, bro? If you guys don't know, it's my buddy Alfred, and really talented photographer with him and his wife, Karina.
Yeah, thank you.
Camera Images with a K.
Yep, camera with a K. No, this is awesome. I appreciate it. And just like everyone else, we appreciate you doing the lives, Get to ask you questions. I'm sure there's a million things we got to ask, but, So what I want to ask, if you don't mind, your thoughts on the traveling spirits and, how you think they travel. Like, me, personally, I believe, they travel, the speed of light, right? Because I think of them as like energy, and we think of light, and light moves at the speed of light type of deal, right? So I feel like almost like on a thought, they could appear from like halfway around the world type of deal. Like I just want to get your take on.
Well,
travel.
I've actually experienced it firsthand when I was actually astral projecting. I left my body. As soon as I thought about going somewhere, I felt like I was like I was like that moment in Star Wars. Oh shit! What just happened? No, that was weird. I just lost you for a second. Okay. So, well, my battery will die soon, but so I've astral projected before, and I actually read a book about astral projection, and so when you actually leave your body, there's an elasticity between you and your physical body where it wants to pull you back to your body. So you're supposed to get away from your body, and when I was astral projecting, it happened to me a lot. I would just think about going somewhere, and as soon as I thought about it, I would literally be there in like a moment, not even just a flash, flick of the finger.
Okay.
It was like that moment in Star Wars where you go into hyperdrive. That's basically kind of what it felt like. So I would assume, since there's no physical limitations to a spiritual energy, if you're in your soul 100%, that it would be the same deal.
So it's interesting, like just thinking about that, how you go to places and spirits seem to be attached to that space, right, for whatever reason. But then again, there's the ability with certain spirits to be able to call on them, and then for them to appear anywhere you are in a moment's, right, like in a split second.
Mm-hmm.
I just find how it's interesting how we love to travel and we go to these places to visit spirits that may be stuck in those areas. But what do you think it'd be possible to call on specific spirits if we knew knew them by name and knew their history, to call them to wherever you are?
Oh yeah, I mean investigators have done that sort of thing, and I mean there's a lot of people that have just opened up a spirit box, and I mean we know acknowledgement such a profound element when it comes to attracting energies as it is. So yeah, if the intent is there and trying to do it, I mean the possibility is absolutely on the table.
Right.
Chelsea, I know you got a quick question. There's two books on my website. Just to give you, there's two books. I just released my second one. But I I absolutely think that you can call on. I mean, for that potential to happen, but you just got to be objective about who you're speaking with and what's it trying to say to you. You just don't know if it's being truthful.
Right. And just real quick, if you could kind of touch on again that experience you had when you had the multiple boxes going on.
Oh my gosh.
Where it was kind of crazy. If you could maybe just touch on that a little bit, because I know that was a pretty crazy experience you had recently.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mary, by the way. I just saw your message. Appreciate that. So yeah, when Eric put on those 3 gateways and we had like 4 spirit boxes or something like that, all cooked into this one conglomerate of spiritual energy. I don't know what it was, but at the Bel Air house was the most intense one out of all the times we did it. I just never felt any energy like that. I just remember sitting on the couch and I just felt like I was being suffocated, and just the energy was so intense that I wanted to get up and leave the room. I think the portal is in that area where I was sitting in the couch. I was more in closer proximity to it, and that I don't know the combination of what was going on, and I'd actually told Eric and Dave is like I had an opinion that you know, uh, why the energy was so powerful partly is because there's so many different frequencies that are allowing the spirits to use to communicate. And it was right over the top of this very profound energetic portal or vortex that's in that house. And whatever it did, it seemed like we were like opening up the gates to hell. And we were asking, where are you speaking to us from? And it was saying like hell. I haven't even reviewed that. I mean, I've been all over the Mason stuff, and I definitely want to make a reviewed, edited video down of the Bel Air house, which probably encapsulates that evening with all the crazy stuff that was going on. But yeah, I mean, it felt like a straight up horror movie. I literally like brought up like if anyone's seen the movie Event Horizon with Sam Neill. If you haven't seen the movie, it's creepy as hell. It's a cult classic, and it's unsettling. It's a good movie. I literally felt like I was in the room with every dark entity that I've ever encountered in my life. I saw the creature with the scale 3 fingers reaching out to me on the couch. I started to see thousands of flies. I started to see the Amityville house. I was seeing, I
Oh
mean,
gosh, it's
glowing eyes. Like I was
yeah.
just like, oh my god, what is going on right now? I was just like, I didn't know if what was causing it, or I was just on guard, or if I'm just supposed to like get out of the room or what. But when I was sitting on the couch, it was like the worst. So I'm like, wow, this is just really intense. I never felt anything like that before.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. All right, cool, man. Well, thanks for sharing. I don't want to take up all the time. I'm gonna jump off, see if anyone else wants to jump on or
Yeah, thanks, bro.
anything like that. But yeah, no problem. Thanks too for answering the question.
Always, bro.
All right,
Later, man.
later.
I know people have been putting some stuff in here, just making sure I don't miss any of your questions. Um, it was really insane, Jen. Yeah. You just gotta be careful, Andrew, when you're looking for loved ones to come through devices because you don't know. I mean, demonic things can disguise their voices, and they can give you information that only you and your loved one would know because there's no conception of time. So that's where the danger lies. That also was like connected to the true story of the boy from The Exorcist. Um, the movie The Exorcist was based on a story was the boy from what you call it, St. Louis, and his aunt was into the occult. They'd play the Ouija board with the boy all the time, and the aunt passed away, and then he started playing with the board. Um, there's something to that effect, and then it was giving him information that no one else would know besides him and his aunt. It really was never his aunt, and then it just stopped communicating. And then the 3 stages of the demonic started to occur: the infestation, the oppression, and ultimately the possession, which ended up turning into one of the most infamous cases of possession there was in this country ever. Um, so, yes, I just watched it, Stephanie. It's fantastic. The shock doc about that story is on Discovery Plus. Interesting, Claudia. Daniela, it's my first book has the story of the Mason. It's this book right here, Shadow Chaser. There is no more Ghost Loop. Um, Truth of the matter, none of us really got along, and it is what it is. And I'm just focusing on some projects. I got this documentary coming out, and I'm just keeping busy, um, whether it's on TV or not. Um, and that is that. Awesome, Teresa. Glad you're liking the book. Sounds good, Daniela. That's cool, Jen. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Sounds good. Sounds good. Am I going to do a movie out of the book? Psychically, I picked up about something may happen for a movie with one of my stories for like a whole year. I guess we'll see. Uh, Alfred. Thanks, bro. You know, a ray of sun, I'd be just careful of doing that in your own home. And that might be a curiosity for you because then you could open up more doorways in your home. Like I said, using any sort of device to communicate with spirits, there is a risk that's attached to it. So that's something that you have to be willing to take. Um, but I take every precaution necessary when using this stuff. Hey, Joseph. Yeah, man. Same to you. It's a crazy world out there. You as well. I have not seen it, Daniela. No, I've heard about though. No problem. Some people are open to it, some people are not. That's just the way it goes. But you shouldn't feel alienated with that because there's many of us that do. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, I'll have to check it out, Mary. Obviously, man, I'd love to just make an impact in what I'm doing in the paranormal because I'm passionate about doing so. Obviously, you'd want to leave your mark somehow. Have you ever had demons speak to me personally? Well, welcome, Chelsea. We're glad to have you here. Yeah, unfortunately, I have nasty things, of course, growling, threats, the worst things that someone could say to you. Sounds good, Arif son. You as well. If you want to watch a lot of the lives on YouTube, just click the link in my profile on Instagram and subscribe and turn on notifications when I do the next live investigation. And I do these Q and A's. I try to do at least once a week, so anytime. What are some things you can expect in the coming future? Any investigations coming up? Nothing definitive, but I would like to start to plan another trip of some sort. But I have so much footage to go through, and I really want to put content up on YouTube. And we have this documentary coming out, so I do want to do that. But I definitely want to do another trip soon. Or is what free? The lives? Yeah, my YouTube channel. Anyone can watch. Yes, thank you, Mary. Have a great night. Gabriel, Uriel, Michael. No problem. Well, Instagram people, I think this is going to fry on me right now because battery's about to die. I have 2% left. So, anyone, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, make sure you subscribe. The link to this video right now that I'm on right now, if you want to continue to watch for a little bit longer as I answer some more questions, just click the link in my bio on my Instagram profile. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications if you're not. Every time I go live and do these Q&As or live paranormal investigations of haunted locations like I did last night of a residential, that's where I do it on that YouTube channel. Thank you, Stephanie. A pet spider? No, I do not need such things, Jen, but I appreciate it. The thought. Well, all right, guys, on Instagram, I'm going to shut this off because my battery's about to die. And if you want to watch on YouTube, the link again is in the profile of my Instagram while I'm on here for a little bit longer. Thank you so much, and later. All right, guys. So I'm fully here on YouTube now, so I have your full attention for a little bit longer. Well, I mean, obviously that worked to an extent for people to ask their questions. So, yep, it can happen on phone conversations. A date with the underwear, ghost for Sean's birthday. That sounds so nice of you. God, the thoughts of you guys. So sweet. What is your interpretation of when a spirit allows you to photograph them or hop into your photo when you weren't looking for them? What about it? I mean, I think if they really want to be seen, that they'll project in certain images around people. You guys know about the Do you guys know about the demon wedding photo? And again, thank you everyone who's just coming in here to like this video when you come in. Definitely helps. Do you guys know about the demon wedding photo? I don't know if I showed that to you guys on one of the streams before. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story about that. Well, this one's going to creep you out, and I apologize if that's going to do that to you, Chelsea. Thank you, Jen. So, a man went to a wedding with his wife, and he was a drug addict, and someone took a picture of him and his wife, and after seeing what was in this photo, he completely stopped cold turkey with doing drugs and became a changed man because it terrified the living crap out of him. And so, if you look here, there's a demonic entity over his shoulder because he was doing a lot of drugs during those at that time. Would you want that thing hanging out around you? Or at least discovering that it's around you? It's exactly what it looks like, an evil dog. Yeah, it's terrifying. Some nightmares for you guys tonight. As I think anyone would become a changed person after seeing that shit in a photo with you right on your shoulder. Hello, Dawn. Mm-hmm. Getting a divorce. I don't blame you if that was you're like, yeah, no, can't deal with that. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, when people indulge and they're in a dark place and they're lowering their vibration to be on the same level of some of these dark entities that are lingering around and trying to feed off negativity, then that's what you might attract. If that answers your question, I just saw your question about the drugs. Yes, I believe that indulging in stuff can attract negative things. Yeah, if you look on my Instagram, guys, I posted a picture of the yellow glowing eyes that was over the table with the people doing the seance at the Bel Air house. If you want to check it out, the link to my Instagram is in this video. If you just exit the chat and click on it if you want to check it after this video is done. It's creepy too. And I also saw red eyes with my own eyes upstairs in the uh, the attic. And remember, I asked, "What are the color of the eyes that I just saw over Dave's shoulders?" And it said red. There's some really eerie, dark shit floating around us while we were there. Yeah, a lot of them are like animalistic. Chelsea, my dog is now with my dad. He needs the company. Yeah, there are hierarchies. Yeah, there's different sizes and levels and all sorts of stuff, Alfred. Yeah, you get the hierarchy of demons, and then you have like the lower minions. How many people travel with us? Well, yeah, the 5 people on the show. Sounds good, Claudia. Um, and then you had like 13 to 15 people for a crew for the filming. Have a good night, Claudia. Any ghostly names? I always have a circulation of names. My dad is out of the hospital. Thank you for asking. He seems to be doing okay. Just talk to him. What's the most recent paranormal thing? Last night on the residential case while I was live streaming on YouTube, I saw a woman slipping and falling and hitting her head. You can read things without increasing seeing them to agree. I mean, it's a different ballgame when you're actually going out and doing investigations rather than just wondering about it. But reading about the stuff, being open to it, and then believing in it and being aware of it can actually change your aura in that process and actually attract spirits if you go places, because you're being more awakened because of your attitude, your openness. She had looked like kind of brunette. She's wearing like old type clothing, but it was referencing her while we were there last night, and um, I think that she was one of the ones that crossed over after I prayed. Spirits were really giddy and impatient about having prayers said to them. Have a good night, Alfred. No problem, bud. Oh wow. Definitely hope he recovers, Kriya. Thank you. Anyone who's here, if you're new, how did you find my channel? I'm just curious because, with Periscope, the one thing that was great about Periscope is that when you stream live, people are constantly coming in and finding your video pretty easily. With YouTube, it seems a lot trickier and sparse. Yeah, Andrew. I know about Twitch, but YouTube's going to be where I do stuff because everything stays there forever and I can build. And I know it's not going anywhere anytime soon, but I know about Twitch. Thank you. Cool, Dawn, and I appreciate that. I lost a lot from Periscope to here, and it's kind of like I'm starting over. Um, thank you, Susan. No, Bill, I've never used a dog. The only thing for me personally is that I'd be concerned if something would try to latch onto the dog. As much as I'd love to do that, I'd be a little bit apprehensive about it too. Oh, cool, Chelsea. Nice. Cool, Jen. Nice, Leslie. Cool, Leslie. Thank you. I'm repeating myself. Oh, Erica, it's all of the above. It's anything that you can think of. Those things that you're listing there are just a few, you know, elements of what's taking place for some of these human souls. Definitely. So just think about how many different ways that people actually die tragically or die in general, or different types of personalities and situations that people experience in their individual lives while on this planet could equate to different scenarios in the spirit realm and why they're still earthbound and not transitioned. I agree, Kriya. That'd be great. Um, I mean, there could be an inanimate object that's used in a ritual. There could be some sort of event that takes place around the item. It could be an intent of an individual somehow connected to that item. It could be connected to the soul of who once lived that they were really obsessed with it. I mean, those are just a few. Yeah, people's phone calls. I've heard plenty of strange voices come through. It's with friends of mine and being on the phone with them. So, I mean, I can only speculate or theorize about the trapping thing, but I believe that when people die tragically, they're consumed with what led to their death and why they died, and um, being robbed of death, and there could be something else that's actually influencing, from a third person perspective, to keep them in this blinded state where they're keeping them in a lower vibrational rate where they wouldn't be able to see the light, or incapable to understand how to go towards the light or find the light. The emotional state of the spirit, I think, is a crucial element to what, energies they're surrounded by, the realm that they're in. There's just different levels, and the dark energies and some of those things would want to keep them in that lower vibrational way or manner to keep them from crossing over. One person might be scared of judgment, that they were a bad person and killed another person and killed themselves, and doesn't want the other soul to cross over into light, and wants to continue this cycle of victimizing even after death. It's really horrific and horrible to think, but this stuff definitely, I believe, happens, and obviously I've experienced it firsthand. So, you know, um, that's definitely part of it, I believe. Yes, Korea. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely, Erica. Yeah, they're scared of God. They're scared of judgment. It's really judgment. If they did something in life, or they weren't a good person, or what they did to others, they don't feel like they're deserving of it. They're more consumed with the human element of what they were when they were alive in the planet, rather than who they are as a core, who they are truly. We're returning to our higher self, our true self. This is just a vessel for our soul. Yeah, Korea. Uh, Sometimes, LR, I would. That's why I always say, like, people are weirder than ghosts. I mean, I think some of these human souls, even though they're still earthbound, they're pretty understanding of stuff, that go on, and what they once experienced too in the physical life. Um, no problem, Daniela. Anytime. Have a good rest. Hmm. Thank you, Daniela. Appreciate it for the super chat. Thank you. It's really bizarre. I'm sitting here and I have some random Whitney Houston song in my head, and I keep hearing it over and over again. What the hell is going on? Is there a spirit singing this shit to me? Absolutely, Korea. I always tell people that we have a life chart before we come here, a mission for our soul, and we have our free will that can take off a little course along that journey. And but when deja vu occurs, it's a snapshot replica to your life chart, And you're talking about a perspective of no conception of time, so that's why it's recognizable to you, because in that given moment you're actually right on track from your life chart. Oh, really, Jen? I did not know that. Some do not know they're dead, Vera. Definitely some of them. Nope, creates. How will I know if he really loves me? Is in my head. Chelsea, well, I do it on my own dime, and obviously, the support from people watching the channels definitely helps paying for this stuff because it could be really pricey. Um, Renting locations out to investigate can be pricey as hell, and hotels and gas. No, it's the Travel Channel show is done. It's been done since right before the pandemic, actually, and I'm still on unemployment currently. So, I mean, you know, it's been a weird, bizarre world, but I'm just trying to hustle um, and be busy with my passion and just land some opportunities. I got the documentary coming out. Um, I have some potential projects I'm trying to work on and um, things I'm working on. So I'm just trying to stay busy in this madness as much as possible. I do believe in reincarnation. Yes, it's already been over a year uh, since we filmed that show. Yes, I'm working on merch. I'll have new shirts on the website soon and pictures that'll be signed if anyone's interested. Yes, definitely. Definitely, Erica, to that too, yeah. I believe that too. Yeah, I've had premonitions that have come true. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jen. Do I feel like I've been reincarnated? According to the spirits, yeah. According to the spirits, I have some sort of crazy connection to Jim Morrison. No, thank you, man. I've had a lot of weird experiences having to do with Jim Morrison since I've realized that I have medium abilities and all this stuff. I don't know what it is, but I definitely believe that our souls keep coming back to learn more lessons. I think idealistically, our souls want to be more like God, full of unconditional love and forgiveness. And every time we come back to live a life, um, we have an opportunity to bring a brightness to our soul by accomplishing that mission, being an example of that light that God represents. And you raise your vibration every time that you can actually be on a higher vibrational realm. And each step you do is one closer to being more like God. And that's why our souls would have the incentive to do so. But if you're in like perfect, amazing, full of love and bliss and comfort, you'd probably want to have a little dose of shittiness sometimes. You'd be like, fine, I'll come back to Earth. I'll have some shitty times. Come back. Why not? It's a change. It's like eating like Italian food every single day for the rest of your life. You're like, you know what? Why don't I just eat shit? Come back to Earth, have a good time. You know, have a little horrific things go on for a little while. Earth definitely could be some sort of purgatory. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I know very little about it, but it's all interesting. That's right. We ain't here to have a perfect life. We're here to learn through struggle. And it can be a real struggle sometimes, as we all can relate to that. We all have our share of things that we have to endure that are tough for us in our own ways. Cool. Thanks, Kriya. That's right, Jen. Yeah, it can be. We can have our own struggles that can be real tough. To even when you know the right answer, it's still tough. It's still hard. I'll definitely have to do like a stream on YouTube playing some songs too. I've been writing a lot of songs. I got another song on deck. I just got to write lyrics for it. Another one just popped out of nowhere. Um, I love creating music. Cool, Bill. I'll check it out. That's right, Andrew. I mean, you always have to be objective of who you're communicating with or who you're seeing. Now, if you see a spirit, I mean, demonic entity is known to have something off about their manifestation. They cannot perfectly, allegedly, form into a perfect human form or to whatever it's trying to form into. So there might be something wrong with them, like a limp or a missing limb. That's, I mean, I've always known that from the beginning. But just, be objective about everything you hear and not try to be drawn in. Realize its intentions. Sometimes when I hear a little girl or something come through like help, and I always say that's why sometimes I really want the spirits to say, okay, if you want help, say pray, because I know a demonic entity will never say pray for any reason. They will not want you to be closer in a relationship with God for any friggin' reason. So, you know, but sometimes I get vibes and stuff like that. Thank you, Vicky. about voices that come through. All right, guys, got a couple more questions. I'm gonna probably have to get back upstairs and start going over more video because it's gonna take me forever. I really want to get this done because obviously I want all the evidence that's gonna be prevalent for the documentary, but I want to get to reviewing Periscope investigations and edit them down, do voiceover stuff for them, and keep putting them up on YouTube. It's just, it takes so long. It takes so long. 3-hour video is like a 6-hour video, slowing it down, rewinding it, and things like that. So it's always chocolate milk time, LR. It's always chocolate milk time. Absolutely, Chelsea. Definitely. Yes, some good questions tonight. And if you know anybody that likes to ask questions about the paranormal, is interested into it, just share my channel with them. And I try to do at least a Q&A a week. And hopefully I got some more investigations coming up for you guys too. If it was warm out, I'd be hitting up all the haunted places again out in Connecticut. So you too, Dawn. It's just burr cold outside. You too, Bill. Thank you so much. God bless you too. Thank you, Jen. Oh, I'm home. No, I'm in Connecticut. No problem, man. But today's Tuesday, so if something else pops up where I can do an investigation or something, I'll definitely let you know. But I might pop on and maybe I'll say hello on my birthday to all of you. I don't want to hear about it, Jen. It's not nice. If this shit keeps up with like these restrictions for like another year or two, dude, I will move to Florida and I will say screw the rest. Definitely, LR. No problem, Stephanie. No problem, Susan. Appreciate it. Same to you. Well, guys, enjoy your evening. Appreciate that, Robert. So likewise. Everyone enjoy their evening, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Same to you. No, I've never met him, Chelsea. Cool, Korea. I'll check it out. Yeah, the animal stuff is always interesting. All right, guys. Good talk tonight. Much appreciative of you all, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you, Vicky. Thanks, guys.